TK, welcome to Real Pod.
Victoria, thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be able to hang out with you for an hour because you're so busy.
I feel like I'm not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah.
So TK and Max, I think they're closer than me and Max, honestly. Like they have an affinity, they have a friendship. And TK goes, freshman year, baby. And Max goes, freshman year. I love that you said that to me. I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
What? We have our own language.
Literally, what is this freshman year bit?
Well, Max, I just have to say I adore because one, I love the way he treats you, but I also feel like if I didn't know you, I feel like Max and I would be homies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because like he loves the football, so do I. I can sometimes talk shop. I'm always like, Max, quiz me on NFL stuff. But yeah, I'm just so excited for him and his journey becoming a content creator. And he had asked me when he was kind of in the middle of like, or in the midst of wondering if he should quit and do the full-time thing, because I had that, you know, in the middle of it all situation too. So he came to me and he was like, TK, do you have any advice for me? So I was like, yes, Max, of course. Like I will tell you how it actually is, because I feel like a lot of my content creator friends didn't have a full-time job before they became a creator. They just got into creating, which is amazing, but it is quite the mental and physical shift. And anytime I can help anyone make that transition easier, I'm happy to do so, because it was a really tough transition for me. So the main thing that I told him was, when you quit and you begin your content creator journey, think of this year as your freshman year. Like this is your first year being a content creator. And even though Victoria and me and a gazillion of our other content creator friends have been in this for years, and you know seem like they're crushing it, like they're in their senior year of college. You know what I mean? You're in your freshman year of high school. And I think that's something that I have to remember. Like technically I'm only in my sophomore year of high school.
This is your second year of full time?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're such a natural
Thank you.
You just give veteran energy.
Thank you. But it's funny that you say that, because like, I'm like, I don't feel like that way at all. But I always try and remind myself, because I feel so far behind like my other content creator friends sometimes. And it's normal to compare. Like it's just irresistible. Like it's hard not to. So the one thing that makes me feel sane and not go crazy and spiral is remembering it's only my sophomore year. Mm-hmm. And I'm not kidding you. I think that term, like every couple of hours, I'm not kidding you. I'm like, sophomore year, it's fine. You have plenty of time to learn and grow. And of course, you're not going to be at so-and-so's level when they've been doing this for 15 years. You know what I mean?
I love that advice.
So I was telling him, I'm like,
glad.
freshman year.
I know. And it sounds like he literally was like, I love that. I think about it a lot. It's so interesting to think about all that stuff, because I feel like we all want to be seniors. We want the result now for whatever it is that we're doing. We want to feel like our life's figured out. We want to have, some people want to skip to being like, I just want my person. I want to be married. I want to know, like, I want to have my house. I want to be done. And it's like, but then you're skipping all the fun experiences of the whole journey.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly like, process. Like, you need to love the process, because if we're just going to be so goal oriented, you're going to reach a goal and then that feeling is going to be so fleeting. So it's a great way to think about it, a great way to look at it. And I think relatable for so many people who are trying to just like get to the end, but then to do what?
Yeah. And I think you can use the same concepts. Like, let's say, you know, you get married or you meet your guy way later in life. Like, you're only in your freshman year of your relationship versus like, of course, people have kids. They've been dating or married for 7 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like using that concept makes it a lot more digestible for me to like not compare.
And speaking of your sophomore year and this expertise, is you kind of shared with me that you had what you called a quarter life crisis situation recently. I don't even think I really know the whole story. So what was your quarter life crisis?
I feel like I got to know you after my quarter life crisis. My quarter life crisis truly was like the second I turned 25. It was on the dot. It was like, hi, how are ya?
It was quarter life.
Like, yeah, like let's get into it. I just felt like my frontal lobe was fully developed and things shifted for me in my head, and my even when it comes down to the way I look at my life and what I wanted, things shifted. And it was the first time in my life that I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do and what I was doing. Like, I was so confused, and I'm not confused about my game plan for life. I've always been the girly that's like, in this, like, at this age, I'm going to have this thing checked off the list, and this is what I'm trying to accomplish. And even down to the little nitty gritty of like, I want to have this type of car at this phase of life, or I want to have this little silly little materialistic things. Like, this is a goal of mine. Once I accomplish that, then I'm going to buy the bag, or whatever the case is, but also bigger life goals. And I feel like when I turned 25, all of the things that I ever wanted or desired, I was just like questioning. I was like, do I want that anymore? Am I shifting gears? You know, a lot of things I did accomplish. Like, I was like, whoa, I did get that. Now what? Type of thing. And I also had a full-time job, and this content creator thing was really working out for me at the time. And I was so confused because I loved my job, but I also knew that I needed more time to really take my content creating career seriously. And I was just so conflicted because I didn't want to quit, but at the same time I knew I needed to. And one of my favorite sayings is, you should always leave the party before you think you should. And I think about it all the time. Like, when I'm out, I'm like, if I get this slightest bit of the thought, like, ooh, are we going to leave soon? That's when you should leave, because it never gets better.
Really? Wait, yeah. I love this. I actually think, was it you talking to Alicia and Remy on Pretty Basic? I think I listened to an episode where you guys were saying when you go up to talk to someone who is really cool or like, you know, more established than you, always like end the conversation early, like leave them wanting more.
Yeah. Exactly. When you're talking to someone cool, like, don't overstay your welcome. Or just don't overstay your welcome in general. And I think about that, like, even with, I just had a pickleball event with FP Movement, which Victoria came to, and I was so grateful for. But it was really outfit, small. Okay. Yeah, no, it was amazing. It was super small. And I feel like my older self would have been like, oh my God, it was so small. Like, it wasn't a success, like blah, 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 blah. Like, that would have been my spiral. But now I'm like, I would rather do a small event and crush it and leave FP Movement and all my creator friends wanting more.
But then also, I'm of the mindset of like, squeeze out every opportunity. Like, you know, we had the opportunity to meet a really high profile person recently. And I knew that that person's manager was in the room, because of course they are. If this person's in the room, their manager's in the room. And so everyone like had their quick moment to meet and greet, and then they left. And I was like, I'm going to linger, and I'm going to find out who the manager is, and I'm going to shake the hand. I'm going to get the email. And so I stayed. And so then we talked. And then now it's like, I'm going to have a meeting with that person's team, and something exciting could possibly happen because I stayed. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And you seem very ambitious yourself. So I'm assuming you're not going to like shortchange an opportunity. Of course. So how do you know?
I think it's all depends on the situation you're in. And it's about being self-aware, ultimately. Like, that's what the saying is being self-aware. Like, am I getting the vibe that this is about to not be fun, or I should leave? Or am I getting the vibe like that I am in a condensed room and it's the right time to ask?
I totally get what you're saying. TK used to work full-time for one of her friends and a YouTuber on her team, and then you left to pursue your own brand.
Yes. And I loved that job so much, and I'm so grateful for that opportunity and for that experience. But at the same time, I felt like I was outgrowing that position and that role a little more. I didn't have as much of a desire to be doing it, but I was so conflicted because I loved it. You know what I mean? I was like, wait, no, I love this. This is my dream job. And I feel like a lot of people can relate when they're in a career shift and they're like, okay, I'm ready for the next thing. It doesn't mean I'm not happy at this current thing. It just means I'm feeling a shift. And I think you need to trust your gut when you feel that shift. And so I think I took a lot longer to make the shift than I should have. But that's what kind of led me to spiral and be like, can I do this content creator thing? Like, I was so nervous.
Yeah, what were your doubts?
Confused. So many things. Like, I was like, can I sustain this financially? You know, I'm such an extrovert, so it was such a weird change of pace working for myself and like being alone a lot, especially because I live alone. So I was worried about that. I was worried about the admin and business side of it all, because like I've never been my own boss, you know what I mean? And the fact that I can technically sleep in tomorrow and like do nothing and go to Disneyland, like that, the fact that that's an option is crazy. And not that I'm the type of person to do that, but I think that also scared me, not having like a structure. I also do respond well to authority, and like it's so much easier being told what to do than to decide what you're going to do. I think making decisions and being your own boss is really challenging.
It is
Making your own decisions, like being like, should I invest like this much money in a set? Like, is it going to be worth it? It's so much easier to be told by your boss, like, I'm building a set, figure out the set designer.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I crushed it, I feel like, at my job, and I knew I was good at it, but I also was craving more of a challenge in a different way. And yeah, it really made me spiral for a little. Like, still to this day, sometimes I like spiral a little.
To doubt yourself?
Yeah. Just because I'm so small, like, as a creator. I'm small as a creator. I have a lot of creator friends who are much bigger than me. And I think because I carry myself with confidence, and I think, like you said, like, oh my God, I think you carry yourself like a veteran. I feel like because I carry myself like that, a lot of people forget that I am new to this, and they like, not that I expect them to check in, but like, I feel like my content creator friends have it so together that sometimes it's hard for me to bring up like, oh, I'm actually struggling in this department. I feel like sometimes I'm confused, like, who do I talk to about this? Or
well, what's so interesting
whatever.
is that your content creator friends are these massive creators. As a mind, as a speaker, as a personality, we're all the same. But then when we look at like the paper of it, like it's different. How do you navigate that? Because I feel like that would be tough.
I think the same thing goes for like what we were talking about earlier, is reading the room. Like, is now a good time to ask a question for advice? Because I really do value a lot of my content creator friends as friends, and I always put my personal relationship with them above like my working relationship with them. So like one of the people I look up to and who's one of my dear friends who I adore is Katie Austin, and I feel like she is a prime example of like, first we are friends and we kiki, but when the time comes, I feel like she'll ask me creator questions, I'll ask her creator questions, and at the end of the day, I feel like we're all girls, and if heaven forbid you needed a question about so and so you wanted me to connect you with, or vice versa, like we would do that.
Totally.
But I do like to read the room, and I'm not just like tossing out questions when I'm spiraling, because it's like, I know how busy everyone is and I don't want to be a bother. So I don't know, I'm figuring it out.
But
I
would say in this scenario, allow someone to say, I'm not able to this week, or yeah, we can do it next month, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you're saying no to yourself before someone else is.
No, you're 100% right.
Like, has anyone actually ever said to you, no, I'm too busy to answer these questions? Because
No.
I love helping people. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I feel like you're leaving your own party before
Yeah, no,
walking through the door.
100%. I think that I just know how busy everyone is. Like, truly. Like, I actually do.
But not for people we love and our friends.
Yeah, I
that's
guess
the
that's
thing.
true.
Like, I honestly had no idea about all this, because I guess you have such a, and I understand, like, my friends will be like, what do you mean you're struggling? Like, you're the most put together.
Yeah.
You're the therapist. And I'm like, well, no one ever asks. Like, you know,
Yeah.
so I can understand you're sitting here like, yeah, it's my second year. Call me.
know,
I
I
just had
should.
an hour phone call with one of my creator friends yesterday.
Oh, really?
Helping her.
Oh,
We
that's so
hopped on
sweet.
a Zoom and I just listened to her and I helped her problem solve for an hour, because would I do that for everyone? No.
Yeah.
But like, I would do that for my friends. Like,
Yeah.
so, you know,
I need to be better at asking for help.
yeah.
For sure.
What do you think the fear is? We talked about they're not going to have time, but what else?
I think I just know how valuable people's time and advice is, and I never want them to think that I'm taking advantage of it.
I feel like we're in this weird era though, where people have pushed that narrative, right? Like, I've seen people say, never work for free. Your labor deserves a price. I'm sorry. I think differently. I think we have gotten to this culture where you're afraid to ask someone a question. I'm afraid to use the phrase pick your brain, because I've seen so many people
Yeah,
say,
so.
don't ask to pick my brain.
Or they're like, don't ask me for coffee. I'm
I
like,
know.
Okay.
No, I know. I literally, so
Which I get it, but like,
I feel like I can tell this story because Lauren's a real one, but Lauren Bostic of The Skating Confidential, I think she's brilliant.
She
and
is.
I wanted to ask her some questions, but she's very open about don't ask to pick my brain, don't ask me for coffee. Her time's very by the book. Like, who am I to think she's going to stop and give me any advice? So I did some research, and she had some articles about how to ask someone for advice. I read the whole thing, and she was like, it's a give get. Like, what are you giving back to that person for their time?
Totally, which I agree with.
So I wrote her an email like, hey, Lauren, like, I'm really struggling with a few things in my business. I'd love your advice. I'd be so grateful if you took the time. And I attached 4 ideas for your TikTok. If those would be helpful.
Okay, go on. Which,
so-
by the way, like, that is a perfect swapperoo because I feel like you can help each other with those things.
Totally. So, but like, you know, I understand, like, why am I so scared to just ask? They could just say no, you know, but I do think we're in this culture where everyone's so protective. But as women, especially, we need to be like, let's lay it all out there and then just trust that they'll, you know, I have some boundaries. Some people will text me for help and I'll say, of course, like, shoot me a voice note because then I can get back to you when it is convenient for me. Like, but scheduling a call, then what if that day something comes up, you know, so trust that someone else will set their boundary and then you can read the room from that.
Yeah. I'm even thinking, I'm like laughing right now because when we started our friendship, I knew you were so busy, and like the amount of times I would like want to ask you to hang out or like hit you up to get dinner or whatever, I'd be like, nah, she's too busy. Like, I don't want to bother her, or I don't want to make you uncomfortable with having to say no. You know what I mean? But like now I'm like, oh, okay, like Victoria like actually wants to hang out with me.
Yes.
So like now I'll hit her up randomly.
No,
but it's funny. Like I would do that with like Katie or just people I know are busy. Like I do respect them and I respect their time, but like almost to a fault.
But I used to always say on the pod, I'm sure there's like tons of solo episodes where I've been like, people think I'm so busy, so they don't hit me up. And then I'm not busy. Like I yes, I have work stuff where I'm busy with work, but like not always with social things.
Yeah.
And also just like, I think it's nice when you can get to a place with a friend where like, I can just be like, oh, fuck, I can't tomorrow, but hopefully next week. And like, there's no like weirdness about that. But let's talk about our friendship because I'm actually so grateful for it.
I know, same. It's been so fun.
It has been so fun. Like, I always think about this quote, the way that you build relationships is time. It's something about like time and experience with each other in life. So like, that's why it was so easy for us all to make friends in middle school and high school because every single day you were with people. And now in your adult world, like if you don't have the time to literally like in person with someone, I feel like it was fun at Katie Austin's wedding where we got to spend more time together. Like, so it's hard with everyone's schedules, but no, I don't overthink anything with you now. I hope you feel that way.
I don't either.
I consider you one of my good friends in LA.
Yeah, no, I literally yesterday or Monday I was at Aloe and I brought up to Brad, like, who trains you. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you train one of my
Who trains me 2 sessions.
Yeah.
I wish he trained me every day.
I go, oh my gosh, I think you train one of my really good friends. That's what I said. And I was like, not my really good friend. And then Mary was like, wait, you know Victoria? And I was like, yeah, she's one of my really good friends. And I was like, not Victoria being one of my really good friends.
It is true though that you're waiting like in adult friendships for someone to make that move that like affirms like the closeness, like getting invited to a birthday party or like even like you just had your event with free people. I wouldn't miss that. Like even if I was really busy, like I'd feel like I need to show up for her. Like you came to my BBT event, like you know, you start to see when your friends like show up for you and like there's our gestures that affirm like, oh my God, this friendship's moving in that direction, which is so fun. But speaking of that, you made a comment to me once I've always wanted to kind of dive into, and you called yourself a floater. Tell us what that is.
I am the ultimate floater when it comes to friendships. Like I feel like I've never fully had that middle school to now friend group that like goes on a vacation once a year. And like, do you see the TikToks of like the girlies like putting in where they want to go and they pull it out of the hat and they're like, not Jackson Hole, Wyoming, like where are we gonna go? Like I always watch those and I'm like, gosh, like I want that, right?
The group.
Yeah, the group.
But do you feel you have the individual relationships?
Yes.
Okay, I have the individual relationships and I don't have the group, but I think the individual is so much more important.
It is.
I guess I do have the group. Like if I think about me, Aubrey, Natalie, and Marine, like in my mind, that's my little foursome, but they have like way more friend groups that don't include me and that are way more prominent for them. Like I just think as you grow up, like you have that, but I, similar to you, like never had, we had in high school-ish, but like as I've gone on in my life, I've accumulated one good friend, and I think it's quality over quantity.
For sure. I also have so many different types of friends. which is why I call myself a floater. I was the girl in high school, which I am this to this day. Like, I have my pickleball friends. I had my environment club friends. I had my jock friends. Like, I feel like I can be friends with anyone, which is amazing, and I love it. But sometimes I struggle because I'm like, oh, I would love to kiki and have my one best friend. Like, you have your Aubrey. I do have best friends, but like, I feel like my hometown friends don't understand my LA life. My best LA friends don't understand my hometown life. So I don't know. That's why I'm like, I guess that needs to be a boyfriend.
But I think you're bringing up this really common belief that we need like a group where the group does everything together, or we need like one person that knows everything about everything. But I think it is special to have your bases covered by a bunch of different people who love you.
No, it's amazing, and it's one of my favorite things actually is being a floater, because I feel like I have so much diversity amongst my friends, just like when it comes down to the way they were raised or what they're currently doing with their life, or you know what I mean? Like I'm always referencing my pickleball friends recently, because they're just such a new, different world of LA that like I have not been immersed in until now. And it's been such a fresh breath of air. And but something I've been struggling with lately is like I'll get invited to cool stuff and I'm like, who do I bring to this?
Okay. Do you feel like you can mix your groups? Does it feel stressful?
It feels stressful.
Okay. Wait, let's talk about this. Because there are people who that is stressful for them. They're like, did they get along? They're so different. And then you feel like you're the like mediator in the social situation. But I recently, and I always have felt that way. Like I like to keep it very separate. But then I think it was my bridal year. I was like, everyone's an amazing fucking human. They're all going to get along. And then they like all loved each other. And then I'm hosting a watch party for Max this Saturday. And to my insecurity of like, I don't have a group in LA, how the hell does a group form if I don't want to host people because they don't all know each other, or because I'm embarrassed there won't be that many people there, and then you'll show up and you'll be like, I thought there was gonna be more people. And not that you would do that to me, but my insecurity is someone would show up and think, oh, I thought this would be like 20 people and it's only like 10, or I thought it would be 15 and it's only 8. Like, but there's no, Max has really been encouraging me. Like, there's no way that these people meet, or there's even a chance if I don't just put myself out there and say I'm going to host a watch party. Like, you know, so I relate to the comfort of keeping it separate, but then you're not actually progressing towards what you at least think you want.
Okay, I think my insecurity with that is making sure everyone has a good time, because it's the LA of it all. Like, everything needs to be extravagant. Everything needs to be paid for. All my ducks need to be in a row so that this person has an amazing time. It goes back to like being a people pleaser and wanting to make sure I'm not wasting anyone's time. I want them to come to my event or my party or my get together and be like, that was so fun. I leave wanting more. You know what I mean? But like the reality is, it's just like, it's not that deep.
Well, it's not that deep. And I can appreciate that. Max always says this to me too. He's like, when you go over to someone's house and they don't have a bunch of appetizers out and they don't like make you feel all weird and like this is some big day and you just like pop over and sit on their couch, how do you feel? I'm like, great. Like, I feel like I settle in because they're settle. And he's like, great. So like, cut yourself some slack and it's chill. You don't need all this decor. You don't have a bowl of chips and some dip, have, you know, some drinks in the fridge, but like, it's just chill, and people can fucking cope. They could cope. If they show up and they think it's boring, they can leave. And I can cope with the fact that someone left my party. Like, we're all trying to like make sure other people don't feel any sort of discomfort. I would love us to be at a place where you're like, bitch, that's not my vibe.
Yeah.
It's a Saturday and I only get a few. Like, I don't want to come. Like, so I think I'm trying to push myself to almost like Delaney it, because my mom is the queen of like, you come over and everything's perfect. And like, I love it. And she's the best host, but also she's exhausted. And then when people come over, they're also on because they're getting hosted at this caliber level. So I'm trying to be like, how can I drop the freaking bar, make everyone feel at home, like they can come and go and it's not that deep.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. I need to not care.
So is all of this why you feel like you're craving that relationship? And I know you've told me before, like, you are yearning for a deep connection with someone, which I think we need more of that dialogue. There's a lot of girl boss energy. I'm single. I don't need a man. How do you feel with all the messages being pushed versus what you really want?
Well, I've never been the person that's like, I don't need no man. I'm like, taking out the trash, that's a man's job. I've always been that girly. But at the same time, I do have girl boss tendencies. I would say where I'm at currently in life is I really feel like I have done the things. I've done my self-work. I have my ducks in a row. And I feel like my puzzle piece that's missing is my man's. I feel like I am very picky and I know what I want and I won't settle.
What are some of your like absolutely must be this type of person?
High level of integrity.
The most important.
Funny.
Also
hardworking and successful.
Yeah. Successful as in like makes a lot of money or like just has a rhythm in their life?
Both.
Okay. Love it.
Both. Mainly like passionate and hardworking when I say successful. Like that's what I mean.
And I would say you have everything you've listed. So you're like, match me.
No, that's exactly. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like has a lot of cool friends, like fun friends. I feel like you are your 5 best friends and that's really important to me. Like if you surround yourself with cool, fun, like-minded people. What's another thing? Like sports, specifically football. I feel so masculine in my job. Like I'm running my own business. I have my own accountant, financial advisor. I'm talking to all the guys, okay? I feel like a bro at work. I want to feel in my feminine. Yeah. And I want a man to make me feel really girly.
Yeah.
And he needs to know more about sports than me.
Right.
I know it sounds insane, but that's just like one of my little things that I'm like,
I feel like you would
really
meet this
like
type of guy like at a sports bar or like at a game.
Yeah.
You know, Max's best friend's brother like went to this football game and where he was seated, the woman who sat right next to him, they are now getting married.
Shut up.
No, like they were there for the same team.
No.
Like started to bond. Like how long have you been for the same? She's
That's
like, well,
my
we have
dream.
Season tickets. Like literally they sat next to each other.
That's my dream.
How cute is that?
Yeah.
You'll get your dream.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, respects and understands my world. And in addition to that, gasses me up. Like, because I feel like I'm always gassing people up and I need someone that does the same for me because like clearly I'm afraid to ask people to do it for me.
Yeah. Oh,
so I want someone that like gasses me up and like makes me feel that they're my cheerleader. You know what I mean?
I love that. All those things I would say, bare necessities, the simple, like, come on, like respect, integrity, has relationships with nice, cool, also
has
great
a cool
people,
family,
knows where they're going in life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm just so happy to be a part of your journey at this stage. And, you know,
thank you.
Maybe I got to see what, Max, get some friends, my dude.
Literally, Max.
Help me hook up TK.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
I feel like you guys, what I appreciate about y'all is you guys actually try. Like, I feel like you actually, like, sit and try and marinate, like, who you can matchmake me with. Because I feel like a lot of friends are like, like, we don't know anyone. And I'm like, you're not trying. I feel like we're not talking about coupled people. Like, they're not trying enough to set their single friends up.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, I don't know. Like, how are the apps? And it's like, can you, like, put in some work for me, please?
Wait, that's kind of so true.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, if I could set up 2 people and they would fall in love, like, from a blind date, my life, that's like a life purpose I need to fulfill.
Same. I feel like coupled people gatekeep their friends.
I feel, fuck, I wish you would have been at my wedding. That was a great mating night. That was a great meeting. Aubrey and Wood's wedding came out of that.
Yeah, which is insane.
A lot of the friends here we know now, too, like, are in relationships.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy is I feel like there's so many great, amazing single girls, but there's not.
No, it's actually an epidemic.
Yeah, like,
it's insane.
I think it's just because females are just like obviously superior. So like we're hotter, we got our lives together, we're like amazing. There's just gonna be more of us than like there is.
The other problem is with people setting me up is they're like, oh, I know this guy, but like he's not good enough for you. And I'm like, let me be the judge of that. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I know that like he cheated on his last girlfriend or whatever, but like let me be the judge of that. You know what I mean? Like seriously, like I would just love some like male energy in my life. Like please let me be the judge.
Yeah.
Like I just want to go on a date. Like let me have this. You know what I mean? Like so many girlies do that.
Now that but you know what? Because we think the highest of our friends, that if there's any little marker indicator of he's not perfect, we don't want to even waste your time. But now that I know the bar is even lower than I thought, let me get back to the drawing board.
No, but you know what I mean, though. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, if they're a friend of yours, they can't be that bad,
Yeah. No, that's true.
right?
It's very true. If I was single, I literally feel like I would hit up all my friends and I'd be like, I want an Excel spreadsheet of every single person you know and why that you good qualities, bad qualities. This is so fun. This is fun for me. We should do this one night.
We should. I need to be more psychotic about it with my friends because they're just gatekeeping.
Yeah. Yeah. How did Remy meet her fiance?
Hinge.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Did you try Hinge?
Well, yeah, I'm trying it currently.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Oh yeah, I remember I looked at your profile.
Yeah.
I pride myself on I'm a good Hinge. I helped.
Okay, you
I helped. I made
You
it
did
a
help.
little more bring home to mama.
you did. Okay, you know what's so funny? I have a confession.
Yeah.
So that did work in some capacities, but my friend Lizzie just the other night completely changed it.
Like did the reverse of, so you guys
She
TK
did the reverse.
what? So TK had this really wholesome pic at the end of her Hinge and this kind of more like, you know, like sexy energy pic at the top. And I was like, I think you should flip them because you want to attract them for the wholesomeness, but then like you also have the sexiness versus the guy who's looking for his wife might be like, my wife wouldn't post this pic. It wasn't that bad, but so she's flipped him back.
So we did a full reset, basically. Her strategy, because she is cuffed right now, and she was like, I low-key ate on Hinge. And I'm like, all right, let me like hear your tips, right? And my profile, I'm not kidding you, like when you fixed it, it was truly perfect. Like I think that it ate. I feel like it was giving wifey, it was giving I'm still hot and fun, I'm sporty, like it gave all the things. But my friend's opinion was like, TK, you have to think of it from the male brain. Like, your algorithm sucks. Right now, we just want you to get as many likes and matches right now, and then you can make the decision if you want to go on a date with them or not. And I was like, I kind of agree because it's the alg. We're blaming the alg.
Interesting. I didn't even think about the alg on Hinge.
Like,
Are you not being fed to like the better guys?
No, I don't think so. Or I think I'm stuck in the
So
rose
she
jail.
wanted to go a bit more like, you know,
like
male
hot
gaze.
Yeah. Hot girl, male gaze, sporty prompts. Like, give them something to.
Wow, like really just.
Oh, it is fully for the male gaze. Like, it is my hottest photos. Well, some of them are like, she was like, I'm not kidding you. I was like breaking out in hives because she was like, we need hotter. And I was like, I don't have hotter.
I would, but if I roll reversal, let's say I'm single and I'm trying to like get Max on Hinge, who I think is a great husband. I don't know if I had like how thirsty I could go for him to think that's my wifey.
It's not super thirsty, by the way. Like my profile.
Are you going to share some pics with us? Like,
Yeah, I can show you.
Can I drop these on the Real Pod IG?
Sure.
Follow the Real Pod IG if you want to see TK's a breakdown of TK's Hinge.
But the thing is there right now, I feel like you have to think from a male's perspective. Like, they don't even read. I was with my guy friend the other day. He's like, I've never read a prompt of a girl's. He's
No.
like, I've literally never read a prompt. I've never looked at what she does for a living. I'm like, this is insane.
Oh,
He's like, I
God.
just, if she's hot, like.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Okay.
how
Hey,
where in my brain needed to go.
I think let's try all the strategies. If you tried one for a few months and then now you're trying to try a different strategy, I'm all
Do you
for
want me to
it.
show you?
Yeah, I would like to see
I
it.
fear you're gonna cringe.
No.
Wait, hold on. It's not that bad. It's just like hot. Also, I have like a red carpet photo on there now, which like I wanted to die
Okay.
doing.
I think the first pick is great.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Thank you.
It's sexy and hot and it's not, there's no cleave, there's no,
No.
ass crack.
There's
You had me worried.
no. It's not that trappy.
Together we could run the pickleball court. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I only have one thought.
What? Which one?
I'm obsessed with everything except this one.
That's the one she loves.
But
I
that
agree.
one to me is like, that's just not you. Do you know what I mean? Are they liking that photo? I also don't know shit. Like I'm a wifed up.
I don't know. What's funny is like
You
I'm
look
like, this is
gor-
actually very me.
You look gorgeous, but
I
that
know what you
that
mean.
gives a girl who like looks in the mirror like this before they go out every day, and that's not you.
No, you're right. You're right. Maybe I'll put that down further. She was like this.
Maybe
is-
that's the last one.
Maybe. You're right.
Yeah.
All I'm fixing right now is my algorithm because it sucks on Hinge. And when I show you, if I were to show you like a month ago, the people that Hinge was serving me, you would actually like throw up. Like it's offensive. Like it actually is so bad.
You know what I would love? let me run your Hinge and then just tell you when the dates are.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, I have a
'Cause-
date this Thursday.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so much. Anyways, thank you for letting us put your whole Hinge account on blast. You guys, it's going to be on the Real Pod IG.
Yeah.
You can check it out.
Which, by the way, just know this wasn't my choice.
What? Putting it on blast? Or?
No, putting the photos
Oh.
what it is.
No, I'm aligned with 85% of it.
And also, I used to have like really cute group photos with my friends, and she was like, no.
I like this girl.
She's just like giving me the opposite of what it was because like clearly what I
Yeah.
had, which I thought was good, wasn't working.
I think she's got a lot of points. She should be the Hinge whisperer.
They're just like men don't think the way we do at all. And they don't think. They're
At
just
all.
like, she's hot.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the Hinge 101.
Yeah. Another thing I heard, which someone at Aloe told me this, which it worked for the girlies that are single and like their algorithm sucks. When I tell you, like, Victoria, if you saw some of the people that liked me on Hinge, you would be like, this is insane.
No.
Like it is truly so scary. And like I'm sick and tired of not saying how much Hinge sucks. Like I've been like, you know what? Maybe it's everyone says it's a good app. I'm like, no, it sucks. But I'm trying to fix it. That life hack is that you change your age range on Hinge to what you're interested in from 70-year-olds to 80-year-olds. And you take the deal breaker check mark off, and then all of a sudden the normal guys pop up
What?
who are your age. It makes zero. That's what I'm saying. It's an algorithm flaw.
That's crazy.
So now my preferred age range right now is that I'm into between 70-year-olds and 80-year-olds. But I have the not a deal breaker off, and now like normal hot guys are popping up on my algorithm.
Interesting.
Make it make sense.
Interesting.
Don't know.
Okay. Well, manifesting, finding your man's on the Hinge.
Trying to find. We'll see. I hope I don't meet him on Hinge. Honestly,
I feel like you're a 10 out of 10. You're a total fucking catch. You
Thank
will
you.
meet your person, whether it is on Hinge or not. You know, the tough part is just you never know when.
yeah. I'm honestly not like genuinely worried about it. It's just I'm like desiring it currently with my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to like go on a night walk with someone right
Yeah,
now. Like
yeah.
who's gonna go with me?
You
You,
can
know
go
what I mean?
with
Or
us.
like I would love to get froyo right now. Or
Yeah.
I would love to like stay in and cuddle and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like,
Especially as it gets like colder and it's fall and it's cuffing
yeah,
season.
just those random things.
Well, I have zero doubts. I will get back to the drawing board. I will
Thank
lower
you.
the bar and we will think.
Lowering the bar.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And thank you for being such a fun breath of fresh air every single time we chat. You're such a real one, so down to earth. I just love you.
I love you.
And thank you for coming on the show.
thank you so much for having me. And you guys give her 5 stars and a review, please.
I actually got a 1-star review today
Wait,
because someone goes, "This is amazing," but they have beef with an influencer I interviewed. So they're like, yeah, they're like, 1 star,
like
you're
you have
amazing.
beef?
No, they do. They are
Oh.
going to every podcast this influencer has been on and giving it 1 stars.
Oh, that's really mean.
I know. So you guys, please go give me 5 stars to counteract this person.
Yeah, please. Yeah, 5 stars and a juicy, fat, beautiful review.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay.
Love you, Vic.
So much fun.
Mwah.
Love you.